2, 1.
Hello and welcome everyone to Finals Game 2 of the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament. My name is Timp.
And I'm Axeil.
And we are awfully excited to get this one kicked off. On your left, you will see Eliasthepanda, or just Elias for short, being mentored by Chisame. And on the right, you will see BumRushBlitz, who currently has one game on Elias, being mentored by Daaanty. If you're not familiar with the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament, first of all, welcome. You picked a heck of a time to jump in. This could very well be the final game of the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament. But in case you haven't seen, a quick explanation of what's going on here. These runners are self-professed newbies to this game. They've gotten quite a bit better since they started the tournament. But as they are racing, they're going to have the help of a veteran member of the community, their mentor, helping them through the seed, giving them insight, providing routing help, and maybe even helping them with some glitches and things like that. So that is what we have in store for us this evening. Axeil and I, of course, are 2/3 of the Go Mode podcast. Herfy Durfy is our other host. He's asleep right now because he's in Germany and it's like 2 a.m. there. But Axeil, so glad you were able to join me this evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, but I think our runners have gotten going. So rather than going into intros, let's start commentating.
Sounds good to me. Just a big 20 so far. Nothing too interesting to talk about there.
Yep. So it looks like, just like last seed, we are seeing both of our runners taking the same play into the Uncle Well to go to start out.
Yeah, I think just, sticking with what you're comfortable with. Surprised to see Bumrush did not go for the tree pull, though. I guess they're
Well,
maybe going to
yeah, they're going to get bombs anyway.
Oh, wow. But the tree pull was bombs as well, so that's sort of interesting. With the two of those, you almost wonder if somebody might go to escape, because you could with those bombs.
Bomb escape, that's the standard dream.
Dream is one way to put it. Some might call it maybe like a nightmare.
Nightmares technically are dreams.
Yeah. And a blue bottle also, so that's definitely going to be helpful to have.
Yeah, now, Tip, while we're having our runners get stuff situated, do you want to give a quick recap of how Game 1 went?
Oh, man. It was quite a doozy of a game. So it was one of those extremely rare times where not only is it a forced Aga seed, which happens about 33% of the time, it was also a PED seed, which happens about 5% of the time. Bo was on the pedestal, which meant it was an oops all dungeons. And both of our runners performed beautifully, but man, what an incredible turn of events to see them have to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we won't be having a repeat of that, though, as the Lumberjack Cave is a big 20. Although I guess we could still see the seed, the Dark World, lock behind Aga.
Yeah, there's still definitely a possibility for Aga, but it is nice to breathe a sigh of relief when you see that you don't have something like, I don't know, the hammer on Lumberjack, which is exactly what we had in the first game.
Yeah, I'm guessing both runners are pretty excited about that. Do you think, in terms of racing psychology, that gets in their heads at all here?
Sure it does. I mean, there's a million things running through their heads. One nice thing though, and I did get one chance to mentor in the tournament. I had to step in so that we didn't have to basically like lose a match, or that the runners didn't have to go without. That's kind of a nice thing about having a mentor, is you can kind of outsource some of the thinking of those sorts of things to them, so you can focus on execution and what's immediately in front of you. So that's what I would be thinking about if I was one of these guys. Just execute.
Mm-hmm. And it does look like we won't have Bo on pedestal again, because we have found the Bo here in Blind's house.
Nice early bow.
And
You
a
like to
sword.
see that. And a sword. Very good.
Yeah, that's a great Blind's hut.
Okay, and now we see the well. Bombos, nice and early. That spices things up a little bit. And the hook shot.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a bad sign. Early hook shot is never something you want to see.
Now, Axe, I've heard you say that before, and also we had a Quake in there, so pretty stacked Kakariko well. But Axe,
Mhm.
do you want to elaborate on that thought?
Yeah, so the reason behind this is generally, as you know, the way the seed generates out the items, it kind of says, all right, I'm going to place things down, and based on the placement, I will figure out if I need to, if things are locked out, and if so, then I will, generate things accordingly. And generally, if you're getting hookshot this early, it means that something is locked behind hookshot that you're going to need. Uh, Unfortunately, this early, the only thing that can get locked behind hookshot that would be this early would be the Dark World. So generally, not something you want to see because that's going to imply Aga.
Yeah. Now, the hook shot. Having said all that about the implications of the filler and routing and all that, hook shot's just kind of a nice item to have. It's going to open up the stun prize. Does open up access to some things pretty early on, so that's definitely nice. If we're kind of trying to look at the positives, there's it's a nice item to have for sure. The library, not too much there, just a piece of heart this time, and just bombs in the race game. So right now, Elias with a slight lead. Maybe like 15 seconds or so, but they have pretty much been tracing one another's footsteps here. So it definitely feels like a lead because they're doing all the same things. But um, who knows? Maybe we'll have a little bit of a divergence here as we get into sort of South Hyrule.
It's not a very big difference.
No, it's still quite close. Ooh, Elias misses the opportunity to hook shot clip across that block. That's real nice when it works out, but when it doesn't, it's basically just like you're doing it vanilla. You know, you maybe waste a little bit of a little bit of time trying to get through it, but not too bad. Let's see if BumRushBlitz. Oh, doesn't look like they're going to go for it. They might have missed the opportunity to try it there. So yeah, not really a big deal for Elias to have missed that.
Yeah, when you're playing at the level that you get to in a late tournament, little things like this really can make a difference sometimes. Oh, interesting shovel. Um, but with both runners missing that, it won't have any kind of meaningful impact.
All right, so yeah, having the hook shot in Mini Moldrum Cave is kind of what I was alluding to earlier, where it's just nice to have it as an item. As you can see, it just kind of bops them, takes them down in one hit. That's definitely nice, especially when that sword is not really cooperating.
Yeah, well, it helps here with Elias getting into a little bit of health trouble, down to one heart, but does manage to clutch it out. A death there would have been very, very costly.
Yeah, and then picking up the blue mail as part of the reward for getting through. So that's definitely nice to see at this point when you're getting battered around. Doesn't help the current situation, but at least you know you won't be in that situation as often.
Yeah, and I know we pointed this out in our first match, but it is amusing that we have both runners as the Moogle, so no real sprite differences. And I don't know, Tip, if you just noticed, but the stun prize this time around is just 5 rupees. So last time we had a pretty helpful stun prize, and I believe it was a fairy.
It was a fairy, yeah.
Yeah, and
Pretty
now
huge.
it's just 5 rupees, so no luck this time if you're hoping for some stun prize strat.
Yeah, now Elias doing a little bit of a crab ballet here. Really cannot get hit, or else he has to abandon this check. Thankfully, gets through again with the help of the hook shot, using that to stun some of those crabs. So gets through, and it's just for 20 rupees. But now at least you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I wonder if last match is sitting in their minds a bit here. We did see that Zora was fairly important. I believe the last time Zora held the fire rod, and
Yes, yeah.
given that it was all dungeons, that ended up being required.
It
So I wonder
didn't
if this is
seem. Yeah, I'm sorry. It didn't seem like it was going to be at
yeah.
first, which was the real kicker, because it was Pendant Skullwoods and Turtle Rock. But yeah, of course, being the pedestal situation, what it was, yeah, it was required.
Yeah, so I just wonder if that's in their minds. I thought they were going to make a play there for Zora, but they both didn't. So I'm guessing that's the mentors saying, keep the last seed out of your heads and play the game you want to play it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. "20 arrows and the flute" in Sahasrarla's closet. And Elias is going to opt to just get right out of there and looks like probably just go activate that ASAP.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of items here at the start. Makes me a little, you tend to see seeds that give you a lot of items at the start tend to get very trolly at the end.
Yeah, okay, and so now we essentially have our first major divergence, which is Elias, when they saw the flute, opted to go activate, and BumRushBlitz is going to stay the course. They've got the bow. They want to go ahead and take care of Eastern. It is a pendant, but it's guaranteed 3 items.
Yeah, without the lamp here, it's not like that's in logic, but guaranteed 3 items is interesting. But I wonder, given that it's a pendant, if this is just a drop in and check the quick ones, or if this is a full commit.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's like when you've checked the 5 item locations and the last one is Armos Night, it's like, well, I went through all this trouble. I'm already here. I might as well just do it. I feel like that happens more often than not. But if they get the 3 items, so they just got Big Key. If they get the 3 items here, 1, 2, 3 in a row, then you can very well see them leave.
Yeah, I'm guessing that we still have a chance that this is another pedestal seed, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, still no hammer and no lift upgrades.
Yeah, so we could be going to Aga again as well. It's no Moon Pearl, no lift upgrade, and no hammer.
Yeah, BRB, remembering that they have the hook shot and taking the lower room. Very good. And Elias heading up the mountain. Or actually, I guess they probably fluted up there and now they're grabbing Old Man, doubling back. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So we will see what Old Man has.
With the flute, Old Man is out of logic, but the rest is not. Right. So this, I think, is a good divergence here from Elias.
Okay, and we have our green pendant hint, just some bombs. And so that is a little less of a compelling reason to go pendant hunting. We have one less reason to do that.
Yeah, now we don't know where green pendant is yet, but yeah, definitely it's not a situation where we're going to see a green pendant gamble.
So we're hearing, I'm reading in chat that Turtle Rock is green pendant. I guess one of our runners must have checked with Sahasrarla. So thanks for the heads up.
Well, I guess now at least they don't have to go through and worry about going and finishing TR as a pendant unless we are having another pedestal seed.
Oh yeah, way too early for all that. Who knows?
Again, pendant TR, it's usually because it's got so many items in there.
Yeah,
you never know.
Well, that's what people used to say. I feel like I don't see that a lot anymore, but it's not to say it couldn't happen for sure.
And we at least now have avoided the miserable situation of having Ice Rod on pedestal, which is possibly one of the worst things you could find there. I don't know what actually is the worst, Oh, it was pretty bad.
I mean, I was about to say that seemed pretty bad.
Yeah.
Our runners did such a great job with that seed too. They were both just a little bit over 2 hours.
I was shocked.
So,
I figured,
yeah.
When we BumRushBlitz taking a death here in the in the back of Eastern. That's oof.
That is a shame. So yeah, we're not going to get to see what the last items were there.
Yeah, we probably won't unless we start going into a hunt for the last item, or we find out this is pedestal.
Yeah, that's a pretty acceptable thing to sort of leave behind when you're in that situation. I probably would have done exactly the same thing. But it's also one of those where if and when you find out that you needed that one, you're just like,
Ooh, yeah.
oh god, you know.
Yeah, we are starting to run a little thin on locations for the items we would need. There's the lamp, so
Lamp
Eastern
and
is now
half-moon.
in logic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need the Moon Pearl still, a lift upgrade, and the hammer for Dark World access, and not a whole lot of places left. We've got Armos Knights, Hera, and that's gonna. I guess there's still a handful of other little checks.
I don't think we have Hera because we don't have hammer or mirror.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot about that. I figured with the fire, I was thinking, oh well, they can check all of Hera, but no, they can't because they don't have the mirror.
Zora.
True.
Oh no, actually Zora isn't in logic either because we don't have flipper or gloves.
True. So Tip, I do have some news on the Aga front. BumRushBlitz just got the Master Sword.
Okay, and we know where the lamp is.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Aga all day.
Yep.
Now, I feel like you still have to go to like Agena and look for the Moon Pearl there, right? And some of these other places.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Let's think about how many checks are left. So we know that the only places left are Agena and Armos Knights. And they need 3 items.
So you think there's like lift upgrade on Agena, lift upgrade on Armos Knight, and then Moon Pearl on Pyramid?
Could be so what I would actually do right now if I'm BumRushBlitz and I pull that lamp and finish these checks, I would just go straight to Aga. Because I guess the only scenario where you are screwed is the one where there is a lamp at Agena or a lamp on Armos Knights. Or not lamp, sorry, mirror.
Now, let us not forget that any one of these, 3 or 4 item locations we're talking about, you could find a lift upgrade or a hammer, or well, probably not hammer, that's a bad example, but you could find a lift upgrade and now, or boots, there you go. Now you've got a whole bunch of things that are open, so we just continue this search. So we might not necessarily find all of it right now, but one of those has got to have something. I mean, that's how rando works.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that would maybe make me hesitate a little is they don't have Moon Pearls. So even if they did Aga, that just is 1 check.
Right.
So maybe I wouldn't. I'm now talking myself out of it after I was extolling the virtues of it.
Well, it just depends on what we find on Armos Knight and at Agena, if anybody deigns to check it. Is it Deans or Danes? It's one of those, you read it and you don't always hear it.
It's Dean. I don't know.
Deigns, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Dane? Yeah. Anyway. Shout it out in chat, y'all.
Yeah, and chat is pointing out that it's not just the mirror that would unlock some things, but hammer too. So yeah, maybe going straight to Aga is not quite the play, just because there are still a bunch of routes left. Now, I think if Elias goes and gets Armos Knights and it's nothing, then it's looking pretty pretty dire in terms of us getting to skip Aga.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting to skip Aga at this point. But I guess it is still possible. Lagbot 30,000 in chat asking if we saw a spiral. I'm actually not sure that we did.
Yes, we did. It was 5.
Oh, okay. And BRB's doing it right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Here's one thing that could be. It could be that we've got Hammer or Mirror on either Armos Knight or Agena, and that gives us access to Hera, and Hera's got the Moon Pearl and a lift upgrade.
Yeah, that's certainly plausible. All that could happen.
That would be a very.
It could be a book. There could be a book.
Oh, book. Yeah, book would open up desert.
Wouldn't that suck?
More fun would be book, and then it's boots locked.
Oh God. Let's not get too diabolical.
Yeah, just a big middle finger to our runners, as if they had suffered enough after game 1.
Yeah. But as we have illustrated, there are a lot of different ways this could still play out, and both runners are sort of zeroing in on those last few.
BRB, a little bit of health danger here, but does get through it. Gonna be disappointed though when he gets up there and finds that it's only $50. All right, so we are at the point where both Elias and BRB only have 2 checks in logic that are left.
Oh, Lagbot 30,000 also mentions lift to back of escape. That would be another. If this does happen to be a lift upgrade.
Oh, that's true.
Have 3 items right there.
Have we even seen escape yet?
Oh, we haven't even seen the front of escape.
We haven't even seen the front. So here we are talking about Agassi.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen escape. I feel very silly.
And there's 300. Yeah, with further enforcing, there's probably a bunch of really useful stuff in there.
Yep.
The front and the back,
we figured we talked so much about bomb escape at the start. We pretended this was a standard seed.
I guess so. I always forget about escape, especially when I'm playing. So
yeah. So all right, let's see if we can get anything here that moves us off of Aga. That's a piece of heart, not what we're looking for.
And right on cue, Elias heading to escape. So we'll see what's in here.
Yeah, I do think that Elias is probably a little annoyed about that Armos Knights. Only going to pay off now in the event that this is a pedestal seed.
Yeah, hopefully they don't try to go back, because as we know, I think it was just 300 rupees basically at the end.
Yeah, it was just $300. So, given the rupee situation, there is no value whatsoever in that.
All right, so we've got our first item in escape, just a piece of heart. 2 more to check here, and then I suppose we could also see Dark Cross, and then perhaps even through 2 back of escape without a lift upgrade.
Nice intentional damage strats here from BRB. Fortunately, the green guy is dead, so we'll need to come up with another way to get the... Oh, bomb will do it, yep. Except full health.
Oh, no!
That feels bad. Ugh.
Yeah, so what happened there is they set up the Death Warp perfectly. They had a half of a heart left. Set up the bomb, opened the chest, got a piece of heart. It was their 4th one out of 4, and it refilled their health, so they were not able to kill themselves. So they have to make the long trek back. That was tragic.
just noticing here, does Elias not have the Master Sword?
No, I don't remember where that was.
I thought it was on Death Mountain.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I don't know where. Oh, dig spot.
Oh,
Okay,
dig.
shovel. Cool. Okay.
Okay. So, Elias about to get that. But we only have 4 checks left, and we know that some of the, or 5 checks, counting Gina, and some of those have got to be Dark World opening items. Because we are 3 items short right now.
Yeah.
So,
BRB coming up on Dark Cross here. Could be a key leading to back of escape, or it could be... Oh,
could be nothing.
Or it could just be nothing.
All right, 4 left. And Elias going to Agina.
Okay, now when you find something on Agina, that, especially 25 minutes into the seed, that always feels pretty bad, right?
Yeah, and there's a really good chance there's something here. There's only 4 chests left, and we have 3 items. Although, I guess one of them could be on the pyramid. And there's our glove.
Yep, there's a lift upgrade. That'll get us to back of escape.
Oh, did they not have the key at all?
No, they didn't have the key.
Oh, so that's why I was saying 4, because I was figuring Agina plus the back. I didn't realize they didn't have the key, so yeah, that had to be the glove, or
the boots, you know, and it could have opened up like Bonk Rock. Like Bonk Rocks could have something. But yeah, we knew it had to open up something because we need too many things still.
And this is an Agaseed, folks.
And a tempered sword already.
Yeah, that's
pretty crazy.
That's I mean, I guess we don't have to do Master Sword Ganon, but you kind of would rather have gotten the Moon Pearl out of that, or the hammer, or another lift upgrade. Really, not a great time there for the tempered sword.
I mean, I'll always take the tempered sword. Also, we have 3 bottles right now. 2 of them I think are blue goo and 1 is green. Not to mention we also have our blue mail. So not a whole lot of hearts, but everything else definitely stacked up to, you know, give both these runners a nice sort of cushion as they're making their way through the Dark World.
Yeah. Now we could go to Zora because we have the gloves, but looks like BRB is saying, nope, I see the writing on the wall. I'm going to climb up there and fight the wizard.
Yeah, Blackwack's pointing out that Elias skipped Dark Cross. It looks like maybe they're going back for it now. I think it was just like Big 20 there, so nothing. Or they could be going straight to Aga maybe right now. Yeah, they're going to Aga. So they skipped Dark Cross. We know there's nothing, but I guess that'll be sort of lingering in the back of their minds. Oh, BRB skipped it?
Yeah, no, BRB did.
No, they got it. No, they got it. Yeah, they already got it from the front.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fight Aga once again.
Yeah, and almost kind of a sync here. Just about a screen behind Elias.
Yeah.
So we had so much divergence in the first little bit of this seed, and now, you know, they've kind of converged here, more or less in the same sort of spot. In fact, they're both in the same room right now. So it's just kind of funny how, you know, all of these little checks kind of have a amount of time associated with them, with variation being the order that you do them in. But at the end of the day, they sort of came out equal this time.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they're both making a great call here, because the really only other thing they could go do and check would be Zora. And
yeah,
you know that really the only item Zora could give you that would open things up would be flippers, funny enough. Unique items in Hookshot Cave. That's interesting. But yeah,
well, no, we also got a... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. We also got a hint about armor being locked behind Hookshot. So I wonder if that's the same item. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Axe?
And I wonder if the mentors are pointing out, hey, even though Zora's open, you need 2 more items and that's only 1. And the only scenario in which that opens up more checks for you is the one where that is the flippers. So, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for kind of banking on Moon Pearl being on Pyramid so that you can grab that and then just kind of keep going and go up and, I don't know, maybe check Catfish or something. Versus...
Yeah, I do... Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, versus the opposite, basically. That was kind of the end of the thought, but yeah.
Yeah. I do want to point out, I did note about, 5 minutes in when they pulled the hook shot to say, oh, that's bad signs for Aga. And lo and behold, both our runners are going into Aga pretty much in sync.
Yeah, and as several of the people in chat have pointed out, especially some of our runners in this tournament in chat, this has sort of been known as kind of like an Aga tournament because of the frequency of the amount of times that Aga has been required in all of these seeds. It's been quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance, but you can always flip a coin and have it come up heads 6 times in a row.
That is true randomness,
Yeah, I mean, that's, people complaining because the humans are very bad at figuring out randomness on our own. We think like heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, heads, tails is random, but that's actually very unrandom. One of the ways you can use to find fake random numbers, numbers that people claim are random, but actually aren't, is if it's like a heads tails kind of thing, if you don't see more than 3 of a certain heads or tails in a row, you can almost be assured that a human made that pattern up, because if you have a list of, let's say, like 10 heads tails, you are very, very likely to get a run of 4 at somewhere in there. And that's probability statistics with Axeil.
Thank you, Axeil. And there it is, folks. The moon on the pyramid. Look at this Celeste sink. And we're hearing bunny music.
It's good. We don't get to hear a lot of bunny music.
I know, I love it.
Well, it looks like we got BumRush going over to check out what's in Pod, or... Nope, not going to check Pod. Going to go check the map.
Okay, here's a map chest. Red crystals in Skull Woods and Pod. Green pendant on Turtle Rock.
Red pendant.
Which we knew about.
Thieves Town. That... Ugh, there's not a lot open.
Yeah, now, because the runners both have a lift upgrade and hookshot, they are able to get over to West Dark World here and go over to the Village of Outcasts. So that's nice. BumRushBlitz, however, opting to go check Catfish, it looks like.
Interesting Catfish check without the mirror. Normally, if you're going to go out of your way to do Catfish and you've yet to do Zora or the Waterfall Cave, usually you want to try to route those in together, but I don't know, maybe figuring that the items have been so scarce at this point, it's worth going out of your way for a more obscure check. We'll see what comes up here.
I love that the bunny music is still playing. As long as, there's no screen transitions to a new track, it just keeps going. This is a delight. All right, now it's the end of it, I think.
And Catfish did not pay off, unfortunately, just a piece of heart.
It was a risky move. It was bold. I liked it. Elias checking out Skullwoods. Nice usage of the hook shot and picking up the second lift upgrade for the Titan's mitts. That was a very nice
great find. And taking the intentional death here. Not quite sure why, because they're going to restart at the pyramid. They're going to start. For some reason, I thought they were going to start at the pyramid, not at the start. I thought they save and quit.
Yeah, no, that was worth it because you also get a little bit of a heart refill, I suppose.
Yep. I thought they were saving quitting.
And done with the items. So not even checking that chest there. It maybe should have, because okay, well, they got the key, so it worked out all right. Oh no, they just like totally skipped it.
Yep, I was interesting. Why they did that? Because I was
I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I was like, I must have missed something. Okay, so now they should be using that other key. Okay, yeah, they got a little tied up in that dungeon there.
But now they're back on. Oh, they don't have the mirror. I thought they had the mirror. I'm just out of it.
No, they don't. BRB, I thought they were trying to kill themselves with how much danger they were in just now. Up with 2 murder dactyls and all of the enemies that are in that area. They just barely made it out. That was pretty crazy.
An interesting strat. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I do want to point out what's going on the left side of the screen right now. Elias is going to Dark Death Mountain with 0 crystals done. No hammer.
Wow. Yeah, when you put it that way, it's like, whew, wow.
Yeah, that's...
diving deep for those items.
Yeah, I'm not sure what what's going to come out of it.
Very good to see BRB heading to Skullwoods, as we know, and getting that lift upgrade. There was really no telling how quickly they would get there, but fortunately they pretty much made a beeline, so they're right on track. Oh, okay. Arusta pointing out in chat, a really good point. Sounds like they might be following that hookshot cave hint they got about the unique item. Not a bad idea.
That is a good point.
Now, my theory, as I mentioned, I'm afraid maybe that unique item was just the red mail. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm not correct in that, and there's a little bit more value to this play, specifically hookshot cave, than just that armor upgrade.
It could be, I forget, do swords count as unique items?
I think so. I just read that the other day.
I know we went through it for the hint episode.
Yeah, for the hints. Yeah,
and
that was one of the designations.
Count too.
Mm-hmm.
Or, mushroom.
Yeah, so nothing too exciting in Super Bunny Cave. Here is Hookshot Cave. Let's see what our unique item is.
Red cane.
Ooh, the red cane. Okay, yeah, that's worth it. There's the shield.
And the sword.
And butter sword.
Wow, that's quite a haul there from Hookshot Cave.
Yeah. And no red mail. So that was a different requires the hookshot location where there's red mail.
Interesting. That's got to be, I guess, back a swamp.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I didn't catch what the TR medallion was.
I think it might have been Bombos, but we'll find out in a second.
So could have opened it if they had the hammer.
Right, no hammer. That's the headline.
Yeah, last seed was the hunt for the bow. This is turning into the hunt for the hammer. Possibly an even more annoying item to not have than the bow.
Oh, it's super annoying to not have the hammer, because you keep trying to go to dark world portals that you have to have the hammer to get to, like the one above Swamp, or you try to go the other way, around the one in Kakariko. It's such a pain to not have the hammer.
Vash confirming for us that it was Bombos, so TR is openable as soon, and actually, completable with the exception of Trinex as soon as they get the hammer, because they do have the red cane now.
Yeah. So a reminder that Thieves Town is a pendant, so wouldn't be surprised if we just see the first 4, but probably will also depend on what kind of haul we get from the first 4.
Oh, and chat pointing out no fire rod yet, so that is correct. Can't get past the, can't get too deep in there because you'll need that for the 2 chests early on.
There's a very, very small chance that you could, but that would be so insane. No one would do that.
We've seen a lot of insane things this tournament.
We have. I don't want to speak too soon.
And that is a real shame. The front of Thieves Town has almost nothing.
Okay, so Amaranth, shout outs to you. Appreciate this. Just posted the hints that say requires the hook shot. Those are Ganon's Tower, Moldorm chest, basically validation chest, hook shot cave. The top 3 only. The other one is you can get to with the boots, and then Swamp Palace, the 3 back chests, and the box.
Yep.
So probably armor in Swamp Palace.
I would guess unless it's in GT. But bigger thing is we do have the boots now. Elias pulled that out of the S-shaped room in Village of Outcasts.
Excellent. You mean C-shaped?
C, S, I don't know, maybe that's what a C or an S looks like in Greek. And BumRushBlitz going right for it, opening up Mire.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean that's completable.
Yeah, the only thing that is sort of concerning is those 6 hearts.
Yeah, but they did buy some potions.
Yeah.
So, and they're going in with full health.
Slinging those sword beams around. Love to see that.
Nice... and they've got Butter Sword, so those eyeballs will go down pretty easy.
At least 2 blue potions and 1 green potion, I believe, is the count.
Yeah, so I think it's an okay play given that the other options on the table aren't too great.
I'll say this: this is game 2 of the finals of a 2 or 3 month long tournament. I absolutely would make this play in their position. If this was a daily though, or I was just like playing for fun, I might wait a little bit and come back to this personally.
Yeah, I mean this is BRB going for the win right here. If there is a key item here in Mire, they are going to be well ahead.
Yeah, Lagbot pointing out in chat, I guess BRB did use one of those blue potions on Aga, which I missed. So, but still, 1 blue potion and 1 green potion stocked up right now. They are now down to 2 hearts. So, to my point, I mean, things hit hard in Mire. It's one of the last dungeons of the game, and there's some nasty stuff out there.
And Hype Cave having nothing but ice in it.
Nothing but ice. When you said that at first, I was trying to think of what you meant. I was like, what? Like a lot of rupees?
Ice Rod. Yeah. And I was going to start singing Ice Ice Baby.
But, I'm glad you didn't do that.
Well, nobody has hovered, so there's no singing allowed.
Yeah.
That offer still stands, though. If somebody hovers this match, I got to do it.
Well, we got hook shot, so it's pretty unlikely.
Or it could happen in Game 3.
Yeah. Game 3 definitely still on the table at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we're 40 minutes in and we have no crystals.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I don't think I've seen a seed go this long in quite some time without any crystals whatsoever.
Yeah, so where is that hammer? I mean, that's really kind of what everything's sort of hinging on. Obviously, the mirror would be really nice to find as well. Um, Fire rod and flippers. You know, I mean that pretty much is all of them. But
Yeah, I really don't have any clue where it would be. um, you know, I guess it could be vanilla, could be in pod.
yeah, that is true. We definitely. I mean, we haven't seen pod yet, which is sort of curious. It's usually a pretty popular spot.
Yeah. If they get flippers, it could be an ice.
Yeah. Now, of course, we still have Meyer. You know, we're actively getting these checks. We'll actually get another hint here. A piece of heart held by someone friendly. That's pretty useless. That's not very. It's not very helpful.
Nope.
There's our vanilla big key in Meyer.
Yep, and wonder if Elias is also going to make this Meyer play. You know, it'd be nice if they could get the mirror here so they could route in desert as well, but doesn't look like that's in the cards.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows? Could be right here in the big chest.
Ooh, BRB.
BRB.
Sniped in the back by that shooter.
Yep.
And they even took their time to try to prevent that from happening with the shield just moments before that. That was tough luck.
Yeah, that hurts. I guess they could have prevented that by dashing. You know, you bait out the fireball shot and then dash, but oof, hate to see that. And
so now down to 1. Oh, and taking
another death. Oh my. I gotta start wondering about tilt right now. You know, 2 deaths in quick succession like that, you know, could be putting BRB a little on edge right now. Especially because I know when we talked with BRB in our interview last match, they did mention they were feeling pretty tilted most of the match because of an early mistake with with the not having anything to flip the switch in Hera Batesment. So you know, hopefully, you know, has some good mental fortitude, but something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. That was specifically something that gave them some trouble. And BRB just finding ether in the chest there, not exactly what you want to see when you're looking for items, as we already know.
No.
We only need bombos for any of the dungeons.
Yeah. And was that the second item?
I think that was just the first, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I thought that was the second, but well, I guess we'll find out when they fight.
Yeah, we'll find out sooner or later, I suppose. Either way, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This, you know, you thought maybe after the trouble with the last seed that this one would be a little bit nicer, a little bit easier, but does not seem to be the case. It is being pretty rough on our runners today.
Yeah, it's really just been the lack of hearts, honestly. You know, as we pointed out, there was some early mail, a lot of safeties given to them in the form of some potions, some blue potions. But blue potions are not that helpful when you get hit in rapid succession 3 times for 2 hearts each. It's just it's a little too fast to react to sometimes, especially when you didn't expect it. So yeah, it's been tough, and it's like I said, Meyer hits hard, and you gotta really make sure that you're ready to take on the challenge that is a low hearts early Dark World dungeon like this.
Yeah, the only thing that might be worse with as few hearts would be trying to go and do Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, that would be another really tough one.
The potions help, but I would be really nervous trying to do that. And looks like BRB is playing it very safe here with the eyeballs.
Definitely understandable. If I'm them, I'm also I'm thinking about that potion, like just to make sure that I don't forget that I have it. Vitreous hits real hard. I want to be ready to switch over at a moment's notice. Much rather, quote unquote, waste a potion than take another death here. And they have 2 hearts right now, so I would get that potion out.
Get that bow out at least.
Or yeah, true. Okay, and they heard you. They didn't listen to me.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, use that bow. Keep the eyeball away.
There they go. All right. Well done, BRB. Man, I was nervous for him. And there is the hammer. I think Lagbot totally called that. Or no, it was Black Wax in chat. Totally called hammer on Vidi. There it was. Yep.
So, I talked about how BRB trying to go for the win here with this early check of Meyer. But Elias has done the same check, so, I guess it's a situation where you just kind of chop, and now the game continues.
Yeah, and it's, essentially for Elias, they don't realize this, but it's just kind of catch-up right now. We don't know exactly where they're going to go next, but they're going to have pretty much the same things accomplished by the time Elias is done here, I would say in, about a minute and a half or 2 minutes from now.
The only big advantage is Elias has done all of the overworld checks in Village of Outcast and has already gone and dipped into Thieves Town. BRB has not done that.
Well, it looks like BRB right now is headed to Pod, which I like. When you just got the hammer like that, I think that makes a ton of sense. It's 5 items in there. Definitely smart play.
Yep, you can full clear it. You don't have to worry about any dark room craziness. Just go for it.
Yeah, now remember, we do have one difference in items, which is that Elias does have those boots.
Yep, got those in Village of Outcasts.
Now, the same thing that I said about BRB when fighting Vidi in terms of really looking out for that heart count. I'm feeling the same way about Elias right now. Really love to see them heal up before they head into this fight.
Yeah, I don't want to fight Vidi with 2 hearts. Even if I have the silver arrows, I don't want to do that.
Okay,
I'm getting 1 heart there.
Yeah, but 1 heart.
I don't know. Hopefully not going to tank this, just run around. Yep.
Yeah, don't try to be a hero right now. I'd say after you take 1 hit, you chuck a potion. Hopefully they still have one. I don't think they took it.
I don't know if they do, but is the lightning... Is that 3 hearts or 2?
Well, we have blue mail. I think it might be 3, actually, now that you mention it. Oh, no!
Well, the eyeballs are 3.
Oh, no.
That's really bad. That is really bad.
Elias,
you better stick with it, Elias, because you need that hammer.
Yeah, they have to do it, and they are doing it. Thank God they're not bouncing off of it and doing something else.
But this is a nice advantage now for BRB.
Axeil, how relatable is this though? Like, how many times have you died in Vitreous?
Vidi is not. I'm pretty good at Vidi. Not to toot my own horn. Where I take the most unfortunate deaths is on Cold Stare, despite all the practice. And
Gotcha.
nothing will tilt you faster than dying on Cold Stare.
That one
except
is
maybe
brutal
dying
as
on
well.
Aga 2.
Oh yeah, that one's really bad. But yeah, I mean this has happened to me a couple times, like for sure. So I can definitely relate. My heart goes out to Elias.
Yeah, that's
Hate it. Yeah, but it's like I mean, it's like I said, you've just got to, when you've got those potions, you've got to have it out. You've got to be thinking about it the whole time.
It's a situation where, if you get through it without using that potion, you feel really good about yourself. You go, all right, well, I've saved it for later. And that might be well and true, but if you take a death there, if you had to go get more potions later, it's really not that much of a time loss. But taking a death on a long dungeon like Mire or Ice Palace, it hurts.
Yeah, it's often it's going to be like the single biggest time sink in any seed.
Yeah.
But certainly not insurmountable. I mean, we're far from over here.
Yeah.
I feel like I
especially
should always remind people of that.
Especially BRB is not really finding anything here in Pod, so Pod could be empty. And if Elias can go mode Pod, that will save some time.
All right, here comes round 2. Sitting pretty at 6 hearts compared to where we were before. Same thing applies though. As we just found out, 3 hearts of damage from contact with one of these eyes. So the first time I take damage, I'm getting that potion out. I'm starting to wonder if they even still have that potion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they took it already.
Yeah, if they don't have that potion, then it's a little, it still feels bad, but it's a little more defensible.
Yeah. Now, I did just see a picture of an empty potion, which
I did too, and
doesn't necessarily mean they don't have any, but yeah, maybe they don't. And there they go. All right.
Okay, they're going to get their hammer, but BRB has a big lead now. They're going to need to make some great gambles and great plays here to make up for that.
Okay, so Elias, as we've said, Pod makes sense right here, but hear me out. If they go somewhere else and they find the mirror, they stand to save a lot of time when they do their Pod trip.
And I would hope that you kind of realize, all right, if I took a death there, that's a big time loss. I need to do some gambling. Maybe I need to go off and, finish up Thieves Town. Maybe I need to go off and check Pendant TR. I mean, that would be the gamble to end all gambles. But it doesn't look like the case. Gonna go and do Pod here, which unfortunately is going to mean that there's not going to be much time saved over BRB's Pod.
Yeah. And BRB, by the way, in the basement finding, or throughout Pod, I should say, finding magic powder and the fire rod in the basement.
Yeah, so, if we're thinking about places that Elias could pick up some time, obviously you could have slightly cleaner Pod execution. But at this point, I think, and, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're probably looking at about a 4 to 5 minute differential at this point.
Yeah, I would say at the absolute maximum. I mean, it's probably a little bit less.
Yeah, so that's a good chunk of time to make up. Now, we did see BRB take a death there in Pod. I couldn't tell, though, if that was intentional or not.
It absolutely was. Yeah, it's been Death Warp Central.
Okay.
For BRB through here, not having the mirror, they're just allowing themselves to get swarmed by enemies whenever they need to get somewhere else, basically.
All right. So yeah, so Nat unfortunately won't let Elias make up any time. I really do think it might come down to making a bold play into Pendant TR or maybe going to clear out Thieves Town, because BRB hasn't looked at all at Thieves Town, or actually hasn't looked at Village of Outcasts in general, which is why they are down the boots. Elias having the boots will help a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah, Aresta in chat is pointing out a few things that Elias has already done that BRB has not done, such as Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. So there's still that time differential of course, and there's also we have no idea what's going to happen with BRB, what sort of checks they're going to have here. They could last location their next item, so
That's true.
Yeah.
The only thing to point out, though, is that those overworld checks, with the exception of the boots, did not pay off. So it is possible that because BRB just got the Fire Rod, they could go and clear out... I just totally blanked. Skull Woods. And then from there, maybe they get another progression item in Skull Woods, like maybe they get the flippers, or...
book?
or the book, or the mirror, and we never see them even try doing those overworld checks. Honestly, here's my crazy suggestion for Elias. Go and do Ice Palace without the flippers.
A fake flipper into Ice Palace.
Yep, because that nobody is going to do that. Like, there's no way your opponent is intentionally going into Ice Palace that way. It is
gutsy.
I mean, now, this requires Elias to kind of realize that they're behind by, not a non-trivial amount. Arista did, point out, again, they're going to make up some time, but we don't know that for sure because those checks could get skipped.
Yeah, let's see where they go next.
Yeah. Ooh, Elias running into some problems here with this red fellow.
The beetle, yeah. I like the way they finally killed him though. Just like jump slashed right into him and bounced back onto the ledge. That was cool.
All right, looks like maybe BRB is gonna do those. I don't know where BRB is going.
It looks like Magic Bat, probably right.
Okay, yeah, Magic Bat, and then, I was getting confused because normally I don't see this route for Magic Bat, but that's normally because you have the mirror at this point. You go Dark World first and then mirror over.
Yeah, not having the mirror can really mess up the way that you route things.
Yeah, as we just saw, I kind of went into autopilot there and then went, oh, wait a second. I do want to point out that because Elias has the Fire and Ice Rod, they can full clear TR. Now, we know that green pendant won't give you anything, but, maybe they want to gamble on another pedestal seed.
Yeah, since we don't have the book, we still haven't seen what's on pedestal.
Because they have a pendant that BRB doesn't have. Again, they don't know that BRB doesn't have that, but... that would be a big play. That would certainly make up for the lost time.
So I guess technically flippers could be on ped still. I'm trying to play this game.
It could be flippers. Could be mirror. Could be book.
Wait,
that's it.
Oh man, what if book was on ped and it was required? That would be so bonkers.
Yeah, I mean it could be because you could throw the mirror in desert.
That is too dang silly, man. I almost don't even want to speculate on something so silly.
The book on ped might make our runners scream more than the bow on ped did.
Book on ped.
But it is possible. Now, I think we are very far away from having that be the play, but you never know. In our last match, BRB did blind pull pedestal. Now that was a blind pull that was not really that blind.
It was a very well-informed pull.
It was like maybe like a braille pull, like and it was blind, but they could read it, and so they knew what was happening.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, a braille pool. But that does indicate that even without the book, they're willing to go check PED.
All right, BRB coming up on Mothula. Oh no, they got snatched.
That's a little bit of time lost there. Help out Elias. Elias coming in on Helmasaur King.
Dang, can't believe that just happened. Frankly, they need to be careful with their health too. I think we still have that potion, if I'm not mistaken. I've made the mistake of assuming a potion in the past, but I do believe they still have that potion. And it will refill their magic, which is super nice. So as long as they remember that, and if they do indeed still have it, this should be fine. But,
yeah, although 4 hearts on Mothula and only half of your magic is
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they got to remember that potion.
I mean, they have Gold Sword, which is nice. Doing okay so far.
Yeah, staying away from the spike's pretty good.
Yeah, Elias did clear out Helmasaur King without any problem. But down to 2 hearts here
Getting
for
a lot of bounce back from
BRB.
the spikes there. 2
Yeah,
hearts
this
right
is
now.
One more hit should do it.
There we go.
There
wow,
we
and
go.
down to 1 heart. Really,
that was very iffy. And
but,
just another
well done.
Trouble. It looks like Elias is making the same play. So we'll see now if BRB goes in and starts doing the overworld checks in Village Outcasts, because that will give Elias some time back here.
Yeah, that would be my bet. Is Village of Outcasts next? And by the way, we got our second item on Moth. It was just a heart. So the first item, of course, was the lift upgrade.
Yeah, this has been a very strange seed. I don't really know
Yeah.
what to make of it. It's definitely not linear. A lot of stuff is open. But we had some weirdness trying to just get to the Dark World, and the Dark World is not wanting to cooperate.
Yeah, well, we had the hunt for the hammer, which can always take a while. Kind of divides the whole seed into, like, have the hammer versus don't have the hammer. Ooh, and
great use of the ether there. We joked about how that ether find is not very useful, but that saves a lot of magic.
Joke's on us. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like creative strats like that.
Alright, BRB just about to get their boots in the C-shaped or S-shaped or B-shaped or whatever shape you want to say this house is.
Pac-Man shape.
Yeah, Pac-Man. Elias telling the Moth who's boss. Still has plenty of hearts. And there we go, Mothula down.
All right, well done. All right, so Russ is helping us out here. It was 1:05:45 when BRB killed Moth, and Elias killed Moth at about 1:07:40. So it's about a 2-minute difference, right?
That's not very much, and Elias is about to make basically that difference disappear here, because they're going to be able to skip all these checks that BRB is doing.
Yeah, and BRB finally has the boots now, so Elias no longer has that advantage.
But I don't know, maybe Elias is doing it, going and...
This could be a Turtle Rock play right here.
I think it's more likely that this is a Hera play.
Very true. Yeah, that's the only other thing up here that they
I
haven't checked.
I would assume Elias is going to do Hera and then maybe think about TR. I'd love a TR play here. That would be bold. It would be, I think, actually pretty well supported by the numbers. I'd love it. I'd give it 2 thumbs up.
I mean, it would definitely be very bold.
You know, you don't win randomizer tournaments by being passive and doing the safe plays.
Fair enough, yeah. Okay, and yeah, looks like they are headed to Hera.
Lagbot 3000 pointing out that Elias did not check hammer pegs and that it's going to be a stranded check. That might just be an intentional strand where Elias has just written it off, and the only way they're going back there is if it's a last location situation.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty safe bet. Axe, what do you think about sweet corn on pizza?
I gotta tell you, it's not as good as my favorite topping on pizza, which is pineapple.
I just had some pineapple pizza literally like an hour ago.
That's great. I had pineapple tacos last night, actually. I was at a nice Mexican restaurant, and they had pineapple on their tacos. It was wonderful.
Oh, nice. That sounds good. I guess it wasn't an hour ago, because an hour ago I was here. It was probably like an hour and a half ago.
I think we've caused some controversy in chat over our pizza opinions.
Whether or not pineapple is allowed to go on pizza or not.
Yeah, pineapple should go on everything. It's wonderful. It's the best fruit.
I don't necessarily have a strong feeling about pineapple on pizza, but I do feel strongly about people's rights to put whatever they want on their pizza.
What about pizza with no tomato sauce?
Yeah, I had a friend who was convinced they were allergic to tomatoes for years, and so they would have that.
So
they would get
only white pizza.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, eat what you want, people. Don't let
eat
society
whatever
judge
you
you.
want. Yeah. And the single arrow. Well, at least we got that crystal we needed.
Yep. And we're gonna see what Pyramid Fairy has got for us.
If you want ranch dressing on pizza, that's your prerogative. Don't hurt yourself though. That's the only thing I'll say about eating what you want. Take her easy. Nothing on Pyramid Fairy.
Nope.
So.
But Elias is going to the basement.
All right, coffee break.
Yep.
Food-centric portion of this race right now.
Yeah, we're having a nice food chat while we're going to the coffee break.
There it is. All right. Elias taking a much-deserved quick little break here. Wonder what they're doing.
Maybe they're for some pineapple pizza. Now, I actually imagine what they're probably doing is, Elias is probably getting some mentor instruction and some ideas on where to go next. Hopefully that does include TR, because I really do feel this match might come down to whoever is bold enough to go check TR first, because we have so many items left. We've got either 2 or 3 items left, and with 5 checks and TR 6 if you count Mimic Cave, that's a lot of checks. Well,
there's the book in Hera.
Okay, so at this point, I would not go to TR because, well, I don't know. Maybe I still would.
Now, here's the first thing you do is you go over and check that tablet, right?
Yeah, tablet. True.
But what if there's like flippers on that tablet?
If there's flippers on the tablet? No, I'm done. I'm not checking TR.
No way. No. But I'm saying that's a huge advantage for Elias.
Yeah.
If something like that ends up happening.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna go check right now.
Yeah, although BRB's heading that way too.
Nah, just a big 20.
All right. And I think Elias is doing it.
Oh man, they're about to run into each other here.
Oh,
Nice
Elias
little
is
high
gonna
five
go check
moment.
out TR.
Yeah, that's got to be what's going on
Yeah,
here.
this is a TR check, folks. All right, I hope I don't look like an idiot, and that there is something here that is useful.
Even if there's not, I wouldn't say that makes you look like an idiot. I like this play, and I especially like it for Elias. You know, they have no way of knowing this, but it could be just what they need to pull ahead
Yeah,
here.
I mean, well, they're actually ahead right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically they're ahead right now. But they made up a lot of ground there, killing crystal bosses
Yeah.
while BRB was, farting around Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, and if this is a not that it is necessarily going to be, but if it is a pedestal seed, Elias is really ahead because they have already got that Armos Knight pendant. Hey, there's Bookmador and Tara Hera.
Yeah.
And Elias only opened
Oh,
it
they
up for
just
the hint.
wanted the hint.
Huh.
They just wanted the hint.
Interesting. Not even going to check the very first chest. Interesting.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
I kind of am too. I would have, even if I was going there just for the hint, I would at least go check the that first chest.
Yeah.
It's not that much time. I mean, I guess maybe just you don't want to tempt yourself. I don't really know.
No, I think it was just. I'm going to open this. I'll check that hint, and then right after they got that book, they were Elias and Chisame were probably discussing it and decided this was a nice next play and just did it.
Yeah. Big decision here for BRB if they go to basement or not. As we know, basement is definitely going to be something they want to go check out. And yep, they are going to basement.
All right, let's see what Desert has. Starting with a piece of heart.
We also got a pretty useless hint. But the boots weren't required for this, based on the key being up there. So good thing they did go. Both runners did go get those boots.
Here's the mirror.
Well.
That actually worked out pretty good for him, it seems.
Yes, that's we are Go Mode flippers. One of the most interesting Go Mode items, I think, because it puts a lot of annoying dungeons in the Go Mode category. You're going to be able to Go Mode Swamp, and you're going to be able to Go Mode Ice Palace.
Flow mode. I feel like I can do better. Give me a little time.
H2O mode.
Oh, crap. Dude, you got it. That was so good.
I just didn't even think it was that clever, but I'm glad I.
No, man, you nailed it.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that no one listened to me about my crazy plan to go fake Flipper into Ice Palace.
Yeah.
That would have been really bad. That would have been pretty terrible.
That could have led to some heartbreak.
Yep. See, folks, this is why I'm commentating and our runners and mentors are running and mentoring.
You're commentating because this tournament is named after the show that you're a co-host.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's that point too, but you know, a little self-deprecating humor there for the viewers.
So Elias just going to opt to use that butter sword. Not a bad strategy.
Yeah, why not? You only have 2 hits with the butter sword.
Takes a couple slashes. Yeah, might as well. And gets it done in 3 cycles.
All right. Well, so now here's the problem. You've got the mirror, and you've got an ice palace that has a hint, but nothing else. You don't have the flippers. Or sorry, a swamp that has that. An ice palace that also just won't have the flippers. And I guess Thievestown? I don't even know what you do here. I guess go check out
Checkerboard.
Yeah, Checkerboard Cave.
That's not a bad idea. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Zynix, we have still not seen what Zora is. That's a very interesting proposition, a vanilla flipper.
Vanilla flipper. I don't know if I've ever seen a vanilla flipper. Yeah. I gotta wonder too, because BRB went and did Catfish. Elias has not done Catfish. I would wonder if they route Catfish in here.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen Waterfall either.
We've not, but Waterfall is not in Logic because they don't have flippers.
Oh, right, because it's not in Logic. Although we do have that Moon Pearl now.
Yeah, I mean they could.
But yeah, it's pretty pointless to even check that at this point. We're really just looking for those flippers.
The only other thing you can get out of that maybe is nice is Silvers or the Red Mail.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But well, no, it can't be Red Mail because we know that is
right.
Hookshot.
That's Hookshot.
So we know that it's got to be in Swamp Palace, basically.
Yeah, so it's really, you check it for Silvers, and that's the only thing, because you know the flippers can't be in Waterfall.
Oh, Aresta mentions another mirror-locked location, which is Cave 45.
Could be Cave 45. I did not think of that. This is what happens when you don't get the mirror until very late. There's just all kinds of things you figure or check that aren't.
Mm-hmm. Graveyard Ledge.
Looks like Elias is going off to work in the coal mines there with their lunch pail.
Yeah, we have not seen what's in Purple Chest yet, so have to imagine we'll be getting Cave 45 as well on this South Dark World tour.
Yep.
Oh man, I saw the blue and I thought maybe flippers, but it was just bombs.
Nope. Yeah,
oh, Mirror Bonk.
Yeah. Blackbot making another good point that this could also be a Bombos check, which is a pretty good idea. Maybe their plan here is route this into Bombos, and then from Bombos you go and check the hint real quick in Swamp. Because wouldn't that be a great hint there if the hint in Swamp was the flipper location?
No, because you still have, it takes so long to open it.
But you don't need to open it. You can just walk right in.
Oh, yeah, no, I guess that's true.
You don't
okay, and there's another bottle. Yeah. No, that's funny. I guess you could do that.
Yeah, I'd do it right
I would never think to do that.
Yeah, I would, just because I was in the neighborhood. I think though at this point I would have been screwing around in Turtle Rock, so I would not have had the decision to make.
Right, just a big 20 on that tablet. The Bombos tablet.
Yeah, now Elias has also not done Pyramid Fairy, so we might see that in a second here. So that's actually a pretty reasonable check sequence then. You get the hint, you go up to Pyramid Fairy.
Looks like they are maybe grabbing that hint.
Yep, alright, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's see that flipper hint. Oh,
Oh, different kind of footwear.
yeah. Still would have been a great hint if they had gotten that earlier.
Yep, and just as we had speculated, looks like coming up here to do
Yeah,
German
this
Fairy.
actually...
It is a nice, tidy
This is,
route.
I mean, actually, if they route in Catfish and Zora, this is amazing routing. That is very clever from Elias and Chisame.
BumRushBlitz just checked Graveyard Ledge and just a piece of heart there. So we are ruling out these item locations looking for those flippers.
I don't know. I'm feeling vanilla flipper hype.
I am too.
You know, the other thing I'm feeling?
What?
I'm feeling maybe some pet flippers.
You're not feeling that. You just want it.
I want it. Yeah, I'm not really. The numbers do not support that, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's much more likely that it is lurking about in a pendant Turtle Rock, probably on Laser Bridge, or it's vanilla.
Dang it! You're probably right about that.
Yeah, it's all, pendant TR. It's always on Laser Bridge.
Well, it looks like Elias is going to come up and check Catfish, and then hopefully mirror over to Zora, so we can finally figure out what that fish has got.
Yeah, I will say if we've got vanilla flippers here, I recall earlier I pointed out that it was a little odd that BRB was checking Catfish without the ability to go to Zora, and that I think will kind of show it, because BRB's probably putting this vanilla Zora pretty low on the priority list because of that.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. At the time I liked the Catfish play because I was like, man, when else are you going to get up here? But yeah, if this Zora ends up being important, I think you're right. It probably will be quite a while before BRB decides to go back.
Yeah. Now, the really funny thing about this, though, is they could have fake flippered and been here, an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, but that fake flipper was... I definitely wouldn't have done it. It was... oops. You can't do that. You can't do that, Elias. Because we had no Moon Pearl at the time, so you couldn't check Waterfall. No flippers, so you couldn't check the ledge. So it would have been just for one item. So I don't
I guess
doing that earlier.
Maybe if they would have gone to Hobo, but yeah, that's a little harder to justify.
Oh, just a big 20. So no vanilla.
All right, guess that means we're going back up to Turtle Rock. Or not? Where are we?
No, I think they're probably... Well, I don't know why they would. Oh, maybe the back of...
Thievestown.
Yeah, the back of Thievestown.
No, I think they only got 1 or 2 items out of the front of Thievestown, so this is not totally crazy.
It's not totally crazy.
Chat wanting a pedestal check, and Elias is denying them their joy.
I like when you phrase it like that, like they're politely requesting it. He's just politely declining it, as if
no, thank you.
Oh, I've got quite a bit to do.
Perhaps some other time.
Can I get a bed check, please?
Now, if it is here in Thievestown, this is going to work in Elias's favor because Elias has already checked the front here. So we are going to see, though, a divergence as BRB is heading to TR and Elias is heading to Thievestown. This is, I don't want to be too hyperbolic, but this might be the game right here. Whoever is right is going to have a big lead.
I don't think that's too far off from the truth at all. I will say BRB probably has better odds with there being more item locations up on Turtle Rock, but certainly an opportunity for those flippers to be here in Thievestown. just as you said, whoever has it is going to have a huge advantage finishing up the season.
Yeah. Now, the really funny thing would be if it is on PED and no advantage is given to either runner.
Oh, yeah. We'd love to see that, wouldn't we?
So that would be kind of funny.
BRB actually struggling a little bit with this super speed. There he goes. So Ice Rod was in Hype Cave, right?
Yep.
Did BRB go there?
Yep.
Okay, so
I just don't. I think BRB just didn't mark it.
All right, here we come on the first item locations in TR. A bug net on Eliza's side and a big key on BRB's side.
I guess if they need some fairies, that's yeah, I don't know. I'd feel pretty bad about that.
Oh, and 10 bombs in the big chest. So I believe that's all 4 items in Thieves Town. I have to imagine Elias will go ahead and kill off Blind on the off chance that this is a pet
you don't want to leave Blind down here just because if it is a ped seed, that's a huge pain to get back to. At bare minimum, at least just drop them off.
BRB needs to watch their health here amongst these crystal rollers. Here's the riot shield. So that puts Laser Bridge technically into logic.
Well, I think Laser Bridge is in even without an invulnerability item or the riot shield, right?
No, I think it has to have one of those to be technically in logic. It's just that like it almost never comes up because people will find a way around it either way, you know.
I stand corrected. And meanwhile, in Thieves Town, a whole lot of nothing. There was a third item.
Oh,
but it was nothing. So
it was nothing. Yeah. So the point stood. I was just wrong about the count.
Yeah. So at this point, Elias really hoping that this is a ped seed.
Yeah, that's pretty much their best hope.
I wouldn't say it's their only hope, but
well, it looks like they are headed up to Turtle Rock, so it's not they're unfortunately kind of chasing behind BRB, just kind of mirroring whatever they do.
Yeah, did not check ped here, and I would guess they're not checking ped because they're kind of in this point where they're like, well, they're
committed to the blind pull at this point. Yeah,
if it's not in TR, then I'm just pulling it.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yep. Now you might see BRB check ped if it's not in TR. But I think it's in TR. Probably on Laser Bridge.
Well, here comes Vanilla Big Key chest. Just a map.
So we've got the Mimic Room, the big chest, and then Laser Bridge, and Trinex. Oh, I guess in that one roller room.
Yeah, the Crystal Roller room, yeah. And there might be a few others that one has checked that the other has not, but in terms of what we know as an audience, I think those are the only ones.
Yep. So I'm thinking time-wise, we're actually going to probably be right at about the 2-hour mark again.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ganon's Tower Big Key Hunt notwithstanding.
Right. But I'm just assuming it's in TR, and so they'll go... Well, actually, no. I forgot. I entirely forgot. We still have Ice Palace and Swamp.
And Swamp.
We're probably going to be like
Yeah.
210, 220.
It's going to be a little over 2 probably. Yeah. 50 rupees in Mimic Cave. Still on the hunt for those flippers.
There's all the dungeon items. Alright, either Trinex or Lace Bridge.
So while BRB is making their way through the Dark Maze here, just a quick, I want to give a quick shout out to both of our runners. The name that you're seeing at the top there is their Twitch handle, so go ahead and give them a follow. They've made it as far as you can make it into this tournament, and definitely are deserving of some love, so be sure to give them a follow. And same goes for our mentors, Chisame and Daaanty. I think if you search on Twitch, you could probably find them. I know Dante's on Twitter too, so follow Daaanty on Twitter.
Oh, very nice.
And there's the flippers, just like you said on Laser Bridge.
Oh, it's always Laser Bridge. So, all right. So, BRB got them about call that 135.10.
Yeah, something like that.
So let's keep our watches going to see how much of a time advantage that is.
Now, we had some people in chat also point out another thing that Elias has over. Oh no, sorry, never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah. Now, BRB could have checked those 2 other chests for silvers, and that could be substantial.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
You know, because the difference between silverless Ganon and silver's Ganon, you know, that's not nothing.
Yeah, it's as a Rusta point. It's funny, Lagbot 30,000 and Rust are kind of having the same conversation we are in chat. But yeah, I don't know that I would do that because I would probably feel very behind at this point.
True. Yeah, if you're go moding at 130, you know, 5-ish, and you still have 2 crystals left.
Yeah. Now, I have to say I hate it for Elias because they came into Turtle Rock before and then bailed out when they got that hint and just left. So imagine how different things would be going now if Elias had stuck through Turtle Rock in order to get those flippers.
Yeah, I mean, if Elias had stuck through, he would be just about at
Yeah.
So again, as a reminder, BRB got the flippers at, you know, call it 135.10. So we're probably looking at about a 3-minute difference here.
Okay, so we know that one of these chests behind this point right here will be armor. We also still have these silver arrows to look out for. Now, this is one of those areas, especially when you have the boots, where dashing down to get those final 2 chests down there coming up here is something I would consider doing. It'd be interesting to see if BRB feels the same way.
Yeah, the only thing that might change things is just the time pressure situation.
Sure. I guess validation chest is also hookshot locked, as Legbot points out in chat. So,
Yep.
okay, yeah, they're not going to check out that chest down there. I wonder if they'll do this push block. Yep, they will do that one. Might as well. It's right there. And it was an item, but nothing we need.
Yep, and Elias did pick up their flippers right at about 138.10. So yeah, call that about a 3-minute differential between our two runners. So it's all down to execution at this point.
Yeah, and this would be BRB's to lose if they keep up the pace. And as a reminder, they are 1-0 in this current series, best of 3. So if they manage to win this one, that is the end of the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament, and we will have a grand champion crowned tonight.
Yep. Now, one thing to point out though is they are going to have to go fight Cold Stare with fairly low health. Only 1 row of hearts and blue mail. So, not out of the realm of possibility here that one of the runners ends up taking a death there.
It's a bit of a reach. I mean, we've got half magic and fire rod, and butter sword.
I've seen things. I've seen.
Oh, you're just gonna curse him now at this point.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping for a tie because I want more matches. I don't want just 3 matches in this finals round. I want 4 matches.
No, I understand. I definitely agree with you. I would love to see this go to a game 3. And there is all sorts of terrible things that could happen to BRB that would cause that. But, I just don't, I don't know.
Don't want to put that evil on him.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll really just have to see how the execution is here through Ice Palace. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any places that Elias can pick up some time in Ice Palace, but considering that BRB has got the cane, they really don't need anything here. They can just beeline right to Cold Stare.
And I'm sure that's what they're going to do. Talking about, extra chests that you can check that might give you something like silvers or another mail. Ice Palace doesn't really have any of those. I think if you're go moding, you're just making a beeline, and maybe you can check. Maybe you check that Freezor room. If you find the big key, maybe you check the big key chest. Those are the only 2 that are really sort of on the way to Cold Stare. Oh, and I guess the first one, but you have to kill all of the Pentagators for it. It's probably a little too long if you're in go mode.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother doing it if I was in go mode.
BRB initially misses the strat to kill both Staphos in there, but does a pretty nice recovery. Gets it done in kind of a nice pickup. BRB taking on the IPPJ. Perfect.
Yeah, first time.
Love it.
Alright, let's see how Elias's fight against I just totally forgot his name.
Argus.
Argus, that's right. I was gonna call him Eyeball Man.
That's not specific enough for this game,
Nope.
Unfortunately.
This game just loves bad guys with big eyes.
It is creepy.
I don't know, maybe Miyamoto had like a nightmare with a bunch of eyes staring at him or something.
All right, so Elias making their way into Ice Palace just as BRB is finishing up, thawing out Cold Stare. We'll see if it gives him any trouble, like you said.
Yep. Doesn't look like it so far. Had a good job putting the eyes in the corner. And,
Lots of fire rods, quick succession, yeah, and then finish them off with butter. No problems.
Yep. All right, so that is a clear at 143. We'll call it one. Out of Ice Palace at 144. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Get your numbers in for the guessing game, folks.
Yeah, we got people already on it, so we'll go ahead and say those are valid. Axe, what is your pick?
I'm going number 2.
I'm gonna say 20.
All right, I picked number 2 just for you for last match.
From last time?
Yeah.
That was funny. I picked 2, and BRB was the first in, and skipped Hope Room for some weird reason, and admitted after the race, yeah, I don't know why I did that. Total oversight. And it was in Hope Room, so my 2 would have been correct if they had.
Could have had all the glory.
So it is what it is. Yeah, it's going to be 20 this.
Yeah, and I'm taking 2. So, yeah, this has been.
Yeah, so BRB.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to give general flavor.
Well, I was just gonna say that BRB, I believe, normally does Hope Room and then left. As the rest was asking about in chat, I think that is their normal MO. But anything can happen, as it did last time.
Yeah, what I was going to point out is that we had 2 very interesting seeds here in the first 2 games of the finals. We had basically a hundo seed, and then we had a seed that was a big old hunt for the hammer, and then a hunt for the flippers.
Yeah, the beginning of it was weird, but the way it ended was a classic. I've seen so many seeds that ended this way, where it's just like, find that final go mode item, like look at tearing the world apart trying to find it, and it ends up being an appended dungeon. That's a pretty classic rando race seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really I feel like you can classify rando races into a couple categories. There's very linear seeds where really there's not a lot of routing, it's just all execution. Then you have kind of last location seeds where for whatever reason it's just the very last place the runners are going to check, and that's where the final item is. And then you got this kind of middle ground, like we saw today, where there's a couple different ways you could go, and you see that the one runner chooses option A, one runner chooses option B, and it ends up being a pretty pivotal moment.
Yeah. So we had our first 2 checks. That was a big 20 and a heart. So we're up to 2 with no big key, and Elias also has a excellent fight against Cold Stare, takes him out no problem.
And
they're headed.
Yep. So BRB had the crystal pickup at 143.50, and Elias had it at about 146.25. So still about a 3-minute differential.
And we are up to number 6 in our big key hunt, and still no key. Here's number 7 in the fire bar room. And there's our big key. So it is number 7. Let's see, do we have a winner?
Lucky 7.
I don't think we had that one.
Oh, wait, that's not 7, that's 8.
Oh, that was 8. Oh, I forgot Torch. I'm sorry, guys. It is 8.
All right, so now we gotta hope that Elias also goes left side, and then it's just Ganon execution.
Yeah, so I guess Black Wax was number 9, so we'll give it to Black Wax this time because we didn't have an 8.
Well, these mimics are a lot less scary with the riot shield.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Beamos still are scary though. Oh, they'll hit you good.
Now, I hate to put this bad energy out in the universe, but I think we're just about a Ganon fall separated from our two runners here.
So let's see. 3 minutes is, let's call that what the differential is. Ganon fall usually is, anywhere between 2.5 minutes and 3 minutes.
Now, I think we're at about a 6-minute differential if we're going by Ganon's tower entering times, thanks to Lagbot 30,000 for tracking both of our runners' entrance times. So it's probably a little more than a fall.
No, I don't think it's 6 minutes.
Oh, I must have saw the number wrong. It's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we are squarely within Ganon's tower or Ganon fall time.
Yeah, just about 2.5 minute difference. And Elias is going to get, unless they're doing some kind of crazy dark magician stuff, going to get the big key coming up in a minute here. Oh, and they are doing okay. Well,
no, dang it.
Well, you don't want to say it's over till it's over. But BRB looks to be in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, I can't fault that play. I actually really like that play of, the variance there. But as we know, it's unfortunate. The key was just a little bit further down the left side path.
Yeah. I'm not sure that, thinking about it logically, we're at 150-30. You gotta feel like you're in a pretty risky situation, so it might be worth it to gamble.
And maybe they'll get silvers.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, I've got my stream is frozen here, so I did not see what Elias picked up in that room, in the compass room.
Yeah, I also missed it because the stream glitched out for a second.
Now this is a room you don't see very often.
It was silvers.
Okay.
Still a big time difference here, but yeah, I guess if BRB has a fall, then maybe needs to go get some potions. That could do it.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused on this current play. You never ever see this room.
Yeah, I have no idea what Elias is doing right now.
Okay, so another way to essentially get to Bob's chest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is going to cause them to just get further and further away from that key.
Yeah. I don't understand it.
Rasta saying what I was thinking. I legit don't know where Elias is. I was almost afraid to say it. This is full right side. 110% right side. I'm loving chat right now.
I mean, again, it's a variance play.
But the thing is, like, this is all Chisame approved, So it's like, I'm not about to question any of this because they're way better than I am.
Hey, Timp, guess what we just found?
What?
Red mail. There it was.
There it was, that locked behind hookshot chest that we've all been looking for.
Yeah. So BRB was just a right side off of having the easiest Ganon fight possible.
Yeah, that's true. Fully upgraded.
Yep. Nice double.
All right, Aga 2 down. Just one Ganon to take out.
Yep.
BRB is our winner.
Not just of the game, but of the match and the whole tournament.
Of the entire tournament. Let's see if they can go ahead and close it out right here.
This is like, because I can't go through a match without making a sports analogy. This is like, you're playing at the Masters tournament. You're up 3 strokes, and you've chipped onto the green on 18, and all you need to do is just sink a 10-foot putt. And those putts, though, even though they look easy on TV, they can still be quite challenging with the nerves and all that. And you have the additional nerves here for BRB of not knowing where their opponent's at.
Just tap it in. Just tap that putt in.
Yep.
And they move on to phase 3. The most dangerous phase is behind them.
Yeah, great job on phase 2. It does get the torch glitch.
The torch glitch.
If we'd seen a failure to get the torch glitch there, that would have been big, because that makes doing Silverless Ganon very difficult.
True.
You start having concerns about magic. Your timing can really get thrown off.
Elias has got to be careful with their health here if they want to finish this one out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize Elias was down to 2.
They're 1/2 a heart.
Oh my! Use your potion, Elias.
I don't know if they still have a potion at this point.
Well, if they can get through 2 more rooms, they'll get a fairy. But I don't know if they can. This is oh.
Oh no.
Well. Ooh, that's rough.
And BRB finishes it out.
And yeah, we're gonna come in right at right under 2. So the sword is
GG.
up, and that'll be GG to BRB. Congratulations! An official time of 156.14.
156.14. The winner of the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament, BumRushBlitz, mentored a majority of the time throughout the brackets by their mentor Daaanty. GG to both of them. Subdued that garbage.
Well done.
Well done. Let's see if we can pull them into chat for a post-race interview.
Hello.
BRB. Congratulations.
GG,
Thanks.
Congratulations. You won the entire tournament.
I did.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm excited. I was worried that it was gonna go downhill that run. I was making a lot of mistakes. I don't always, but hey, I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Congratulations. That was quite a display, and really, really sort of unique, interesting seed. Let's just kind of start from the beginning. If you want to sort of walk us through kind of your thought process as you made your way through that one.
Okay, well, I mean, began early, like, typical stuff. You check, Uncle, you go do Kakariko. We didn't have, like, Dark World access for a really long time. I mean, it was the required Aghanim kill for the Moon Pearl. And then that was actually something Daaanty recommended. I was originally going to get it first, and he was like, "Oh no, we should go. We have all the things to get around Dark World. We should go check like Catfish and make that loop." So we did that, and I think it kind of paid off in the long run. I can't remember what we found. Oh, Titan's Mitt was in Skull Woods again.
Yep.
Yep. Catfish had a piece of heart.
Yeah, that wasn't anything, but going over there got us the Titan's Mitt in Skull Woods, and then we had seen the hint for Death Mountain that we knew there was a unique item in Hookshot Cave, so we decided to go up that. I don't even remember what was in there either. It was kind of all over the place, but also the seeds seemed to be leading us places. Like, we went in one dungeon and we found, it was like Tower of Hera. We found the book, and so I went to Desert to go get that mirror, which led to I don't even remember. It was an interesting scene for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of running around, especially the second half of it was really kind of just like a wild goose chase, and a large part of our mental capacity was trying to figure out where the flippers might be, and who could find them first, because it was basically just a race for the flippers to see who was going to go mode first and have the best chance at victory, which is pretty much how it all shook out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And before that, it was a race for the hammer. So it was really like a 2-part kind of race there.
Right. Did they check an early Mire as well and find the hammer?
Yeah. Mire, you guys were actually sort of in Mire at the same time. That was sort of where you gained your lead. And for the most part, you were about 3 minutes ahead for kind of let's say like the middle third of the seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elias ended up doing a full Eastern clear and a clear of Thieves Town, and that's the difference right there.
Yeah, the Thieves Town is big because I didn't even touch it.
So Daaanty, let's talk to you. GG to you.
A whole lot this race, like as far as helping him, the only thing I really did was just kind of like call out cues, like, hey, just be mindful of this, you've got this going on. I did better of that, but routing, it was kind of like, dude, this seed's wild, I don't know what to tell you to do, man.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense to me too, because it's like when you get to this point, that's really all it should be, is just more reminders than like teaching, so that tracks perfectly to me. I think that makes sense.
I'm just glad we didn't have another pet seed, because they had but these poor runners had, I know chat likes it, maybe you guys like it, like watching it, but they had to do Aga again, and I was like, man, if we have to do pet again, this is going to absolutely suck.
I mean, yeah, it was basically like, okay, what we're looking for, the flippers are basically going to be on Ped, which was kind of like the wild card, in Turtle Rock, which is where you were headed, BRB, or in the back of Thieves Town, which is where Elias was heading. So those were kind of the 3 options we were mulling over.
Wow.
For that was kind of what everything hinged on, I think.
Yeah.
So, question, just I was chatting in chat, and I saw that Elias apparently got silvers on right side GT. Was the gap like closer than just the right side? Did he do right?
The gap. Yeah, so the gap is about 2.5 minutes going into GT. Elias did Dark Magician, so we literally were like, well, it's going to be pretty close here, and then mirrored out to go right, and we went, oh.
I see that kind of. I'll be honest. When we had 4 keys leaving there, it crossed my mind. But I told BumRush, I said, "Look, you're in a situation where no one's done, and you're in GT. That's a good sign. That's what you strive for in like a race." So I said, just do your normal key routing. And I did say, don't forget Hope Room. I said, and just if you get bit by your normal key routing, you get bit by it. If you don't, you don't. Just do what you normally do. And I guess, luckily, it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely did. I mean, winning the tournament, there's not a bigger payoff than that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. One question I had for both of you is, I know when we were talking in the interview after the first match, I know you'd had a little bit of some nerves and some tilt after you went down into the Hera basement and had no ability to flip the switch. And again, I saw, with this one, you took another death that was not really opportune. So kind of walk us through kind of what mentally you were thinking, and how'd you stay calm this time through?
Well, I took that Eastern Death, which I at first I was like, oh man, I'm really hoping nothing is in there because we have this early bow. But luckily Daaanty was very good about being like, yeah, you know what, just you lost it, put it out of your mind. If it's there, then that happens. But he was pretty good about being like, yeah, don't even think about that Eastern anymore.
Yeah, and Eastern's a play where you can get back to it rather quickly in my mind. And what he was doing was technically out of logic. The thing that was kind of scary last time in Hera is that was technically in logic. The check he was doing. And it worked out for us that we couldn't keep going because I believe in that seed that was like a map or a compass or something.
Yeah.
And we that one we should have went up. But in this one, it's kind of like this is out of logic. The lamp had me a little concerned, but I was like, there's a high probability that there's nothing in Eastern. So we really didn't talk about it too much until we started saying, well, it's either TR. Yeah, we were like, flippers are there. I feel like, I was like, is the dot done in there yet? Like, there's no dot done. There's probably no flippers there because, but.
So I just want to take a quick moment to interrupt here. Elias just did something pretty incredible on Ganon. First of all, they just finished, so GG to Elias. Incredible job finishing that seed out with a time of about 2 hours, 4 minutes, and roughly 42 seconds or so. But missed the torch glitch and ran out of silver arrows and finished it off with 2 hearts left with spin flashes. So absolutely commendable, incredible job, Elias, getting that seed finished.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That is some really stunning execution.
That's some tenacity. I like
that. That's something I really like seeing in this tournament because I don't know, I can't speak for the runners, but like I know of the vast majority of the people who potentially weren't comfortable with like even silverless, or either just I can do it, but it's not my favorite. Then they come in here like Elias just showed. Here in the finals. Runs out of the arrows. I've done that in a race too. I think a lot of runners have. And then without flinching, he just finishes it out. That is exactly what you want to see from a tournament for players to start from point A and then progress to whatever their point B is by the end of it. Like there's an upward movement and skill there, which is amazing to see.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see if we can get them pulled in to our interview here.
Well, while we're waiting for that, BRB and Daaanty, anything else about this seed stick out?
I mean, what we already talked about. I think that early Aghanim, like Pearl on Pyramid. We also had Butter Sword like the entire match or the entire race, which is kind of nuts. Like some seeds you don't even get like tempered.
Mm-hmm.
And we found Butter like before I even went into a dungeon.
Yeah. Was there a point in the light world where you were thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being Aga?
Yeah. Early on, well, me personally, I was thinking it because we'd already had Master Sword, and then I went to do Shovel Spot and then found the Tempered. So I was like, there's a lot of swords that they're throwing at us. In addition to Lantern, it kind of feels like an Aghanim seed. And then in addition to the fact that we found 0 Dark World progression until like a glove in Agina or something, I think. But yeah, like it sort of felt like it was leading us toward that Aghanim play.
Yeah, the one thing I noted, and I pointed this out, was you both found hookshot very early on, and usually that can be a good indicator that you are going to have to go do Aga because that hookshot then is what gives you access to the western half of the Dark World. Did you have any thoughts when you pulled that?
No, I didn't, but now that's going to be on my mind more.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you don't really think about it until you sort of start digging through the numbers. Then you go, "Oh, that's very interesting." When
Right,
you get
right.
a light world hook shot.
Okay, and now we have Elias here in the chat. Elias, first of all, GG. Second of all, that was one hell of a Ganon fight.
Yeah, that was
Even for that
amazing.
alone, that was incredible.
Gotta have fun at the end there.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
BumRush.
man.
Very, very.
GG.
Yeah, so walk us through that seed, Elias. What was that like for you?
Apparently, a lesson that I didn't learn the first time to always do laser bridge as soon as possible, because that got me in the game one race, and it got me.
Yeah, that is true. There was a moment where we were all sort of hoping for a Turtle Rock check, and you opened it up and you ducked in and checked that hint, and then you decided to leave from there instead of going through with more of Turtle Rock. Can you talk us through that moment?
At that point, we kind of felt that I was behind by probably a fair margin. So we were like, okay, if we go through another dungeon that we don't need to, then we're just out of it at this point. So we kind of gambled that heading to, I think we went to Desert after that, if I recall correctly. It's like we just got to gamble that's there, and did not pay out.
Yeah, it's just it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But
it is. It is.
Everything else, and as we were kind of talking about while you were finishing out the seed, the sort of like middle third of the seed was really close between the two of you, really with kind of BRB leading and you just maybe about a minute or 2 minutes behind for a lot of that, until that as we got nearer to the end, it was essentially a search for flippers. And BRB went up to Turtle Rock for it. You went to the back of Thieves Town for it, which we also didn't know if it was there or not. And then, of course, there was Ped, which we were all secretly wondering if maybe it was there.
So. I was hoping. Just for the fun of it, I was hoping.
Just have another Agaddon pedestal seed.
Would have been appropriate after the last one.
Right.
Oops, all dungeons.
Exactly. Yeah. So Chisame, GG to you as well. Walk us through that that experience for you as a mentor going through that.
It was fun. It was definitely interesting since I stuck with Elias for pretty much the entire tournament. I hope he enjoyed it.
Oh, I certainly did. And it was nice having. I know BumRush can kind of speak to the other side later or afterwards, but for me, Chisame was my only mentor for the whole tournament. So it was very nice kind of feeling that I was growing under a teacher, essentially. So
that is really cool. Yeah, and that's something we sort of have talked about a little bit on episodes talking about planning this tournament, but that is something that, I mean, just from seeing, the two finalists and having both of you sort of be with the same mentor for a long time, seems like that really was a nice, sort of recipe for success. And, if and when we were to do something like this again, probably something we'll look at a little more seriously is, pairing people up long term like you guys sort of did. So that's really cool. I love to see the progression,
So one question I had for you both is, we saw going into GT, BRB had a lead of about 2.5 minutes, and the key, as ended up being in the double firebar room, and we saw BRB go left side, and you looked to be following the same way, and so we said, okay, this is still quite close. A Ganon fall is just about 2.5 minutes, so hold on to your seats. And you went that way and then mirrored back to do full right side. Could you walk us through the logic on that and what you were thinking?
Yeah, I think Chisame's exact wording, and which I fully agree with. If you think you're behind, then just following the other player's run's not going to get you ahead anymore. And I felt pretty confident, since right side from the get-go was not an option, that BRB was going to clear out left side. So I was like, there's a gamble to take, thinking that I knew I was behind.
Yeah,
a chance to gain some time.
That's a pretty logical play, and I think, given your rationale, that wasn't an incorrect play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just rando being rando. Sometimes the play works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Let's move to kind of wrap this up. We have a lot of people in this chat. Is there anyone that has any sort of final thoughts?
One thing I do want to mention that was kind of funny. Like one of the first hints we saw said that a male upgrade was behind the hookshot, and that was the very last chest after Moldorm when I checked it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that that's where that was.
There was also something about a unique item being in Hookshot Cave or something to that effect, where it was like it sounded like that those might have both been about a male upgrade,
Right.
but it ended up not being the case. Yeah, it was validation chests, which was funny. Yeah, that was interesting. Let's see, anything else about this CD? I mean, it's a crazy one. We will definitely. We didn't have any sort of issues. Huge shout outs to Vash1978 as always for an excellent restream. Getting all this set up for us. So we will absolutely get this one bumped over to YouTube. And of course, you can check out the VOD. But I definitely recommend that. It was a very entertaining race.
Thanks. Yeah. And GG to you, Elias. That was a nutso seed. Another
That
one.
That's the way they always go for us. Moogles,
Yep.
Moogles got to have crazy times.
Battle of the Moogles comes to an end in finals. I love it.
Yeah, Elias, I really do hope you do get a chance to go watch your Ganon fight, because I mean we all kind of stopped talking for a bit to watch. I was really impressed.
It was.
Awesome.
I got a little lucky. I admit at that point, race is over. I was like, okay, just kind of casually doing it. I wasn't paying as much attention as I probably should have been. So it turned into a tense moment all of a sudden.
Yeah, and that sort of takes the pressure off too when it's like, well, I mean, this is just sort of for fun. Let's just get it done. It can almost make it a little easier sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely saw that in my run through the gauntlets.
Yeah. All right. Well, now is your final chance if you have anything else. But if not, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I guess just a huge thank you, first of all, to our racers. This obviously wouldn't have been possible to do without you. A equally as huge shout out to all of our mentors. Same thing. Could not have done this without you. Thanks for all of the information you imparted to not just the racers, but to all of us, and kind of proving that something like this was possible. Thank you to all of our volunteers, all of our restreamers, every one of you that helped out with this tournament. We could not have done this without you, and it would not have been the success that it was without you. So huge shout outs, tons of love to all of you. And I guess finally, I'll say check out Go Mode Podcast. This truly wouldn't be around if it wasn't for the Go Mode Podcast, which is a podcast that I host with my friend Axeil and our other friend Herfy Durfy, where we talk about A Link to the Past Randomizer. It comes out every other Wednesday. You can get it on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts. So I think that's about it. Axe, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with us before we close this down?
Again, big thanks to everybody who helped out, just like Timp was saying. Big thanks to all of our runners and mentors, especially for anyone for whom this was their first tournament. I know we had a lot of runners who had not even played before, much less, streamed or been in a tournament. So thank you. Whether you made it to the finals or whether you were out in the group stage, thank you for participating and putting yourself out there. And I hope you had fun. And ultimately, that's the whole reason this whole hobby exists, is everybody's having fun and having a good time, making friends. I'm very glad that it seems like people in the community seem to enjoy themselves. And the only other thing is, for BumRushBlitz and Daaanty, we would, like to have you on the podcast at some point to sort of talk with us as a kind of, tournament, postscript. So we'll be speaking with you offline about that and getting that set up.
For sure.
Your reward.
Sounds awesome.
I know
Your
you'll be
reward.
working
You get to hang out with
really
us.
hard for that.
Do I really want? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Pre-recorded message or something you could send in. I don't know. Cool.
They could be like Herf and hang out in the walls.
Yeah. All right,
Go
gosh,
do Laser Bridge.
and no percentages when you come on, just as a heads up. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, again, can't say it enough. Huge thank you to everyone, and also the viewers. Those of you who are watching, thank you for watching along and sharing with your friends and enjoying. And you're a very important part of this too. So, thank you to everyone involved. Again, one more time, join our Discord if you want to keep the conversation going. And signing off for myself and on behalf of my co-hosts Axeil and Herfy Durfy, this is Timp. And for the final time, let's go ahead and mirror out. Good night, everybody.